The boarding gate buzzed with the soft hum of morning sunlight pouring through the massive airport windows, casting warm reflections across polished floors and impatient travelers checking their watches. Passengers in tailored suits and expensive sunglasses shuffled forward with confidence, their carry-ons gliding behind them like silent servants. Near the end of the line stood a tired man in a faded maintenance uniform, clutching a worn backpack and holding the tiny hand of his daughter, whose bright smile clashed against the exhaustion on his face. He quietly took his assigned boarding pass for seat 12F, already used to the sideways glances and silent judgments that followed him everywhere. What no one inside that aircraft knew was that the quiet janitor standing under the daylight glare carried a past heavier than the planes flying overhead. If you believe kindness and second chances can change lives, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Life Spark Stories, because stories like this remind us that heroes often walk among us unseen. Amaan Riaz had spent the last 4 years cleaning the floors of a public high school, working double shifts to support his 8-year-old daughter Meher after losing his wife to a sudden illness. The morning flight was his first vacation since her passing, funded by years of careful saving just to take Meher to visit her grandparents. His uniform, though freshly washed, still carried faint stains from years of labor, and his shoes showed cracks from endless walking across hallways. As he stepped onto the aircraft during bright daylight, he felt the familiar weight of being invisible among passengers dressed in luxury brands and polished confidence. Meher clutched her small backpack decorated with cartoon airplanes, her excitement shining through every step, unaware of how many silent storms her father had weathered to give her this simple moment of joy. Seat 12F was near the wing, and Amaan carefully placed Meher by the window, helping her buckle her seatbelt while adjusting the small pillow behind her back. Passengers around them exchanged polite but distant glances before returning to their tablets and business calls. Flight attendants moved gracefully through the aisle, their smiles professional yet distant. Amaan sat quietly, his eyes scanning the bright runway outside as memories drifted back like echoes from another lifetime. Memories he rarely allowed himself to revisit, because they reminded him of everything he had lost and everything he had buried. Years earlier, Amaan had been known by a different name in places far from school corridors and cleaning supplies. He had served as a combat rescue pilot, flying through dangerous missions during humanitarian operations, saving stranded soldiers and civilians in disaster zones. His career ended abruptly after a classified operation left him injured and forced into early retirement. The transition from decorated pilot to janitor had been brutal, stripping away not only his identity, but also the respect that once followed his uniform. He chose silence about his past, focusing entirely on raising Meher and keeping their lives stable, believing that glory belonged to another version of himself that no longer existed. As the plane taxied across the sunlit runway, Meher pressed her face against the window, her laughter light and pure. Meanwhile, high above the aircraft, a squadron of F-22 Raptors conducted routine aerial exercises in the same airspace. The control tower monitored both operations carefully as the jets executed coordinated daytime formations. Suddenly, a minor communication interference disrupted the commercial aircraft's signal relay, causing a brief but concerning navigation glitch. The cockpit crew scrambled to stabilize the connection, while ground control attempted to reroute communications through emergency backup channels. Amaan noticed the subtle shift in the cabin crew's posture, the slight tension in their movements, and the flicker of concern passing through their trained composure. Years of flight training stirred instinctively within him. Without drawing attention, he activated the emergency communication panel located discreetly near his seat row, something only individuals with advanced aviation clearance would recognize. He transmitted a short identification code he had not used in nearly a decade, followed by a tactical navigation adjustment that could stabilize relay interference in crowded airspace. He did not seek recognition. He simply acted on muscle memory shaped by years of protecting lives. High above, the F-22 command unit intercepted the signal and froze momentarily as the call sign flashed across their encrypted system. The name carried historical weight, associated with multiple high-risk rescue operations that had saved entire ground units during catastrophic missions. The squadron leader immediately recognized the identifier and directed his formation into a ceremonial escort pattern around the commercial aircraft, maintaining safe operational distance while signaling deep military respect. Passengers began noticing the sleek fighter jets gliding beside the plane under the brilliant midday sky, their metallic wings reflecting sunlight like silent guardians. Flight attendants exchanged astonished looks as cockpit confirmation spread quietly among the crew. Amaan remained seated, gently adjusting Meher's headphones as she marveled at the jets dancing outside her window, unaware that her father was the reason for their presence. For the first time in years, his shoulders relaxed slightly, not because others were noticing him, but because he had once again fulfilled the purpose that defined his soul. As the aircraft safely stabilized and continued its journey through clear blue daylight, a quiet understanding spread among the flight crew, who treated Amaan with subtle but unmistakable respect for the remainder of the flight. Meher leaned against him, drifting into a peaceful nap, her small hand wrapped around his worn sleeve, symbolizing everything he had fought to protect. The sunlight streaming through the window illuminated his tired face, revealing not defeat but quiet strength shaped by sacrifice, love, and resilience. Before we reach the ending, here is a special request. Comment "Hidden heroes exist" if you believe ordinary people often carry extraordinary stories. The plane eventually landed under a glowing afternoon sky, and as passengers exited, many unknowingly walked past a man whose courage had once shaped national operations, yet now found purpose in raising a child with dignity and kindness. If this story touched your heart and reminded you to respect people beyond appearances, please like, share, and engage with Life Spark stories so more hidden heroes can be remembered and honored.